Hey guys, and welcome to another video of The Guide, our tutorial series on FIFA 19. I'm Benjamin, also known as Taz, and today we want to cover a basic feature which is not only going to help you in FIFA 19, but also in FIFA 20 and maybe all the titles beyond that until they're going to change the game fundamentally. And I'm talking about the radar and how you can use the information that it provides to you. And the radar is a very powerful tool, a powerful resource, because you can't see everything directly on your screen. So there are a lot of different situations where you want to use this resource. For example, when you want to play a long ball or want to switch sides, when you want to start a counterattack or avoid the pressing of your opponent. And a lot of tutorial videos of the guide already made you aware of the use of the radar, and you can find the link to these videos in the video description, so make sure to check them out. But important is that this video is going to help you to develop a skill that you use this information and integrate it in your game. And you're going to start to use this skill in FIFA 19, but then you can still use it in FIFA 20. Maybe with some adjustments, because you're going to use the radar in different situations, but being aware of the radar and using it is always going to be a key of playing FIFA and also playing a football simulation in general. So that's why this video is so important, and let's start with how to do it. So how to do it, how to use the radar is quite easy. In the middle of your screen is a radar. Take a look at it. Obviously, this is not all the content of the video, because the moment when you look at it is very important. So the first tip is that you pick a situation, a moment when you're not in risk to lose the ball. So let's take a look at an example. In this situation, I switch sides and now the ball is in the air, and this is a good moment to take a look at the radar, because no opponent is really nearby and I am no risk of losing the ball. So there's not much that I can do in the moment, and why shouldn't I use my free resources to look at the radar and see what is going on? And as you can see, there's not really a player of my team on this side that I can pass to in that direction. So this is very important, how I can continue with my play. After receiving the ball, I continue with the dribbling, and I do it in a very safe way so that I am not in risk of losing the ball. I use the precision dribbling, but I also follow the guidelines of a safe dribbling, and we already have 2 videos published about these topics, so make sure to check them out as well. And you can also see the principles in this moment. I do the dribbling in a direction so that my opponent doesn't have access to the ball, so he can't get to the ball. And this way I am sure that now I can look safely at the radar. And what I am seeing is that I can't really continue on this side. I could play a long ball, but there's not really an open player of my team. But when I look at the other side, I see 2 players which are quite open, and that's why I decide to go for a long ball to switch the side. This year in FIFA you can customize some settings about the radar. For this, go to Customize Settings, Game Settings, and then in the following menu you go to Visual, and then there you have 3 options about the radar. You can go from 2D to 3D or to off, and obviously we recommend to have it at least 2D or 3D, and then you can change also the colors of your players and also the opponent players. There are no settings that we recommend. This comes down from my point of view to personal preference, but I leave it at default because then I don't have a problem if I'm not playing on my own console. The first use of it is for switching sides, and I won't talk too long about it because I already showed you an example which involved switching sides. In this situation, I received the ball after the throw-in and I immediately turn away from my opponent so that I have time to look at the radar, and I see my wingback on the other side is quite open, and that's why I play a pass to him. So making sure that the player on the other side is open is key for successfully switching sides, and if you can't see it directly on the screen, you should take this information from the radar. Sometimes you want to play a long pass, but the player who should receive the ball isn't on the screen. So you have to look at the radar if this player is open or still onside. Here I initiated a run of my player with a 1 LB. We already have a tutorial video out about this topic, so make sure to check this out as well. And now, as I don't have any direct pressure of my opponent, I can look at the radar and can find the right moment to play the long pass, which is now in this situation. My player is still on side and he's about to surpass the opponent player, so now I play the long pass. The radar is especially useful when your opponent is playing team pressing, because most of the time the teammates which are nearby are covered by the opponent, and then you can use the radar to find the open man of your team. Obviously, in these situations it's much harder to find the time to look at the radar, and you will only have a brief moment, but you can get it by either going for a safe dribbling or go for quick short passes to get some space. Next up is goalkeeper play, and as soon as you have the ball in hand of the goalkeeper, you look at the radar because of two reasons. First, you don't have any risk at all that you're going to lose the ball, and second, you want to know what is possible, what is going on. Is there a chance for a quick counter attack? And in this situation I see that my winger is open, and now you could argue yes, but you can see that also on your screen. This is true, but you can't see the behavior of the defenders, because in FIFA 19 it's very often the case that the wingbacks are going to start to cover your wingers, and that's why you need to look at the radar if this quick long throw of your goalkeeper is possible. In this case it is, and that's why I went for it. So far we only had situations when you're attacking, but you can also use the radar when you're in the defense, and the situations are quite similar to the ones when you're attacking, because when your opponent is using the radar for his attack, you can also use it for your defense. Here my opponent switched the side, and I assume that he wants to continue on the wing, and that's why I switched to my right back. So I use the radar to see that there's an opponent player open on the wing, and then I also use it to control my right back to get into the passing lane. In this case it worked out quite good. I was able to intercept the pass, but I was unlucky to not end up with ball possession. There are many more situations at which you can use the radar, but you always have to be sure that you can take away your eyes off the ball for a few seconds. So the better you get at the game, the more often you can incorporate the look at the radar. At the beginning you have to find the right balance. So you should start with situations at which you feel comfortable to not lose the ball, and develop the habit and skill from there. The more often you do this, the quicker you will be able to get all the information that you need from the radar. Obviously, it depends on your camera settings how often you actually need this. If you go for an extremely zoomed out camera, you rarely need it for switching sides, but there might be other downsides to this, for example lack of detail. For some situations there is no way around this. In the video description you can find links to other tutorial videos of the guide which already made use of the radar. There's also a link to our coaching website to get information about our private coaching offers with pro, top 100 and elite players. I hope you enjoyed this video and it was helpful for you. If this is the case, please leave a like, subscribe to this channel and activate the bell. Thanks for your attention, keep a clean sheet, I'm out.